Okay guys, I'm back. I had just recorded a video, and then my mom was calling from New York, because remember I told you my grandma passed away, so she's down there for the funeral. And the phone started ringing, and because I'm uploading, like, I'm not recording it first, I'm just doing it straight. And there's no pause button, so I didn't know how to pause, so I'm having to re-record. So, here we go. This is my labor and delivery story. So what I was saying before was, on Wednesday, November 23rd, at my 38 weekend, 4 days, 38 weeks and 4 days, my midwife came to my house for that appointment, checked me. I was only a fingertip dilated and 20 to 30% effaced, so that was a bummer. Okay, so fast forward to the Saturday. My mom was looking for an outfit to wear to my grandmother's funeral. So we went to the mall. And where I live, the mall is about a 30-minute walk, or maybe a bit shorter depending on how fast you walk, and a 5-minute drive. So it's not far at all. I don't know what it is in miles. I don't know about that. But it's not too... Oh my god, she farted. It smells so bad. It's not too far. So my mom... So we decided to walk to the mall that day. Plus, everyone says walking helps, blah, whatever. So we walked to the mall. Took about 30 minutes. I was having contractions on the way. Some of them I just had to... I felt those ones, but they weren't like... I guess they were the Braxton Hicks, so they weren't painful, just uncomfortable. So I had to stop a couple times, but really uneventful. Got to the mall, walked around, ate, shopped, blah, blah, blah. Decided to walk home from the mall. So, had a little Braxton Hicks there too, but nothing really. Came home. I think I soaked in the tub that night. Went to bed. Now, Sunday, my memories are all like a... I don't remember if I had this headache all day or when it started exactly, but I had a headache in the middle of my head. It wasn't like crippling, but it was definitely there and bothering me and uncomfortable. It was a pounding that went behind my eyes, and then my ears started hurting, and like it felt like it was coming down the jawline. And I'm like, maybe I'm getting an ear infection or a flu or something, but I just don't feel good, and my stomach just didn't feel good, and she wasn't moving a lot that day, and just wasn't feeling right. So I called the midwife and I tell her all this. No, I lied. I called public health. I don't know if you guys have this in America. It's basically a place that you can call and speak to nurses. They're available 24 hours a day. You can call them about anything from like you hit your toe and you want to know if you should go to the hospital up to whatever. And basically they give you medical advice over the phone. Either go to the emergency right away, go to your doctors within this amount of days, or we're calling an ambulance. So because I didn't feel like it was pregnancy related, because it was just like it was a headache and an ear infection, I felt like I could just go to the emerge, because I didn't want to wait till the next day. And that would be it. So I called the telehealth people, and they said, yeah, just go to emerge. And I'm like, do I have to go to the hospital where I'm delivering at? They're like, no. I'm like, okay, good, because there's a hospital like 10 minutes from here, but my hospital is about 25 minutes, and that's a drive. And I didn't want to call my boyfriend to come bring me just for that. So I was like, okay. So I called my midwife and just let her know what was happening. I'm just going to the hospital because my ear, head, da da da. Then she had called me back and said, oh, because I'm in her care and I am pregnant, that I have to go to that hospital and she has to meet me there. So she evaluated my situation over the phone and agreed that I could come in because the fetal movement wasn't that much for the day. So she told me to meet her there, but I guess she was coming from somewhere, so I had to wait a bit. We finally met up at the hospital. I think I was there a little bit before her. And because I have a midwife, like the nurses and stuff, they don't really assess you when you go to like labor and delivery triage or anything. Had I had an OB, I would have been assessed because whoever's on call would have done whatever. So I'm waiting for her. She comes, I give a pee sample. They hook me up to the monitors, the one that hears the heartbeat, measures contraction. She checks my blood pressure. She asks me what's going on, blah, blah, blah. So she said, did you take Tylenol? And honest to God, I know they say Tylenol is safe during pregnancy, but I don't feel safe taking medication, and I didn't want to be dismissed as, oh, well, Tylenol would make it go away, since you didn't take it, then go. So I told a little white lie and said, yeah, I took the Tylenol, only because I wanted to get seen. I didn't want to be dismissed. So she's like, oh, well, you took the Tylenol and it's still there. I'm not sure why. I'm going to do some blood work and we're going to wait for those results. And honestly, I didn't have a problem with doing blood work because, like, you never know what you could find. Like, who knows if these weren't signs of preeclampsia or anything like that, right? So she took the blood work. I gave the urine. She did my blood pressure. And basically all the everything but the blood work came back and everything was fine. So she didn't think of preeclampsia or anything. So she wasn't really sure what was going on. So she said she was going to monitor me for a bit longer. So I'm looking on the monitor and I'm noticing that I'm having contractions, but I can't feel them. I can only tell if I touch my stomach and it gets hard. So I'm like, you know what? I want this baby out. I'm in the hospital. So please don't judge me. I told another a little white lie. Because technically, it's not really that bad because I was having contractions. I just couldn't feel them. So I don't want to be one of those people, like, I didn't know I was pregnant and then I'm, like, at home and my baby pops out because I just can't feel anything. So, I'm like, oh, I'm having contractions. I can feel them. So she looks at the machine. She goes, whoa, you are. And they were like, I don't know if you guys see, like, they go up like this and, like, they peak and stuff, or, like, they go up staggered, so stuff like that. So she goes, whoa, you're having them every 2 to 3 minutes, and they're peaking. Like, she can see it's not just, like, the hump, it's, like, an actual spike and stuff, and then you can see it die down, you can see it start and, like, peak. So she's like, okay, yeah, you are having contractions. She's like, I'm gonna monitor this a bit longer and see what happens. So I think I was on the monitor for about 25 minutes, and they're like, oh, these are uncomfortable. She's like, what's the scale pain thing? I think I said like a 4 or 7. I like to use those numbers. I'm not sure. I think it was a 4. And she goes, let me go ahead and check you and see if these contractions are changing anything. So she checked, and I think this time she said I'm 1 centimeter dilated, and I don't think she told me the effacement, but she goes, basically the hospital won't admit you for being that early. So she's like, because I've called before about, like, Braxton, like, thinking I'm in labor and stuff. And she goes, well, this time, she does think it's early labor and there is no turning back. So, like, hearing those words, like, oh my God, I'm going to have my baby. So I started freaking out, oh my God, I came in here with a headache and, oh, I can't be in labor. This is how I was really feeling, people. Like, really? I've been begging for her to come out. So, what happened? Okay, so she basically sends me home and she goes, honestly, she feels like I'm going to get a call soon. She's going to get a call soon, but to go home, try and sleep, and we'll go from there. So I get home about 10:30 p.m. I am uncomfortable. My mom was making dinner, so I decided to eat just because if I am in labor, I don't want to have been starved for so long. Plus, I say with your first baby, you can be in labor from 12 to 24 hours. So I'm a girl who loves my food, so I wasn't gonna starve myself. No, 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 no. So I ate some of the food my mom made. Was getting tired, and like I said, I wasn't really feeling these contractions. I knew they were happening because my stomach was getting tight. I was a little uncomfortable, but obviously they were bearable. So I went to sleep, and I woke up around 2:30 in the morning, and I was just bored. I couldn't go back to sleep. I'm like, you know what? I need to, like, help my contractions along. So I'm like, I was thinking about the natural remedies I had read about online, and I wasn't about to go outside and walk or do any of those stuff. So I decided to do nipple stimulation. So I just started TMI, like, rotating them like this, and all of a sudden I got like this painful contraction. So I'm like, okay, well, hopefully that starts a long line of them and they'll just build gradually, because that was really painful. I'm not doing this anymore. Well, who told me to do that? Oh my God, those contractions were so painful. Like, I wasn't feeling them before, maybe a 2. Well, this was like a 12. Like, oh my God. So, I start screaming. I know. And I'm like, Mom, my belly, da, da, da. Oh, I have to rewind. So 2:30 when I woke up, I called the midwife and I said, the contractions haven't gotten any more painful, but they're still there. Blah, 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 blah. So she basically said she was going to come over and see what's going on. Okay, so then when she said that, I started twisting my nipples, I believe. Yeah, I started twisting my nipples. Contractions started. They were so painful, excruciating, like I wanted to die. I I pictured contractions to feel different. Yeah, I didn't picture them to feel like this. So now I hopped in my mom's bed and she's looking at me like, what do I do? Like, I just shocked her out of her sleep and I'm there screaming and she's like, oh my god. So she's like, what do you want me to do? I'm gonna call the midwife, da da da. I'm like, I already called her, she said she's on her way. Oh my god, and I'm in pain. So, I think the midwife, then I have to, I had to pee, I think. Yeah, I had to pee. And I'm on the toilet and I can just feel this grossness. And when I look, it's my mucus plug. So I'm like, oh my god, this is happening. But they know how to say mucus plug can come weeks before, whatever. So, but I'm like, oh my god, this is happening, this is happening. These contractions are getting so painful. I'm hunched over the sink and I can't find comfort. Like, I was remembering all like these comfort positions you could do. You could swing, nothing was working except for kind of squatting towards the floor or kind of being on all fours. So that's what I was doing. Then the midwife called because she was outside, and how my building is, the parking's in the back. But unless you have a key, you can't enter through the back. You're gonna have to walk all the way to the front. Plus, you have to pay for parking. So I was in too much pain, and for like the last time I spoke to my midwife, I was calm, just saying like these contractions are continuing. So my mom answers the phone, and I'm screaming in the background, and she's like, "Oh my god, like what's going on?" My mom's like, "Oh, these contractions, da da da." So my mom goes and meets her. It felt like they took an hour to come back. I was in the bed screaming so loud. I must have woke up the whole building plus some. Like these contractions were painful. I wasn't even wearing underwear anymore. Like after the mucus plug fell out, I just put a towel on the bed and that was it. Like I was spread eagle. I was in so much pain. I did not care. It's true, when you're in pain, you have no shame. Oh my god. So the midwife comes and I'm just trying to talk to him. I'm like, I don't know. Just, oh my god, I'm in pain. Da, 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 da. So now she checks me. It's about 3:30 a.m. now. And she's like, oh my god, you're about 3 to 4 centimeters. I'm like, oh my god, it's happening. I can't believe this. What did I wish for? Like, this is too much. Make it go away. I want to go back to sleep. I'm so tired. So, basically the midwife's like, we're going to head to the hospital. Plus, I was, that strep B positive thing, so I had to be hooked up to antibiotics. And I'm already 3 to 4 centimeters, so we got to get there soon. And I had a prescription to buy the medication I needed for the IV so I could stay at home a bit, but the pharmacies around here didn't have any in stock, so we had to go to the hospital. So my mom's trying to call my boyfriend, and he's not answering because obviously he's sleeping. So call. Now I'm getting very upset. Like, why isn't he answering? My car's at his house. The midwife has a car that we can all like ride in, but all my hospital stuff is in his bag, and like my tennis balls for my back, like everything is in his truck. I mean, so she finally gets a hold of him. She's like, Jimmy's late by this time, for real, hurry up and get over here. So the midwife's like, if he doesn't come in with this amount of time, we have to go to the hospital. So when she was like ready to like say let's go, I called him. I'm like, you need to hurry up. And he's like, I'm downstairs. I'm like, okay, we're coming. So we go downstairs. He's looking like terrified because I'm like trying to breathe through it. I'm looking a hot mess. I think I was all wearing his pajama pants. Like I just was looking all types of crazy. And we get into the car, and when I'm having contractions, I'm not holding back. Forget about being cute and not letting your boyfriend have a bad image of you. I did not care. Like, we've been together for so long, whatever. So I'm screaming, and he's like, oh my god, breathe. And everyone's just telling me to breathe, and I'm just looking at my mom and him like, you can't breathe through these breathing techniques that they talk about in prenatal classes. They don't do a damn thing. Like, screaming feels better, or humming. Get to the hospital, blah, 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 blah. I want to get into the tub, but she has to check me first. And she needs to start my IV so she can start the medication. Starts the IV, starts the medication, checks me. Now I'm 5 to 6 centimeters, and within an hour, because it's about 4:30 now. So I'll hop into the tub, and it feels a bit better. I'm playing music off my phone. My mom is pouring water over my belly, and my boyfriend is basically my focal point. Midwife comes in, turns on the jets. I'm feeling like, you know what, I can do this without the epidural. I'm already 5 to 6. I can do this. I can do this. I wasn't opposed to getting the epidural. I wasn't going for all natural. I've never had a kid before, but uh-oh, I think I'm talking too long. Hold on. I'll do a part 2.